What is up YouTube? Carman now back with another review. This time I've got the F30 BMW 330D. Now the other day you guys saw I reviewed the 5 Series, which was actually 6 years younger than this car. But the main question of today's video is, does this car feel 6 years older? That's what we're going to find out. But for now, let's come to the montage. Before I begin, shout out to my sister. Obviously, if you guys haven't clocked by the plate, Sums, you know, so shout out to Alpha if you're watching. Thanks for lending me the car. But yeah, this is the F33 series. Now, this 3 Series is the previous gen, which was first introduced in 2012, and then the LCI came along in 2015, and then production ended later in 2018. Now, the 3 Series rivals with the Audi A4, the Mercedes C-Class, and the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now, it is a sort of, as you can tell compared to the 5 Series, it's a smaller sedan. It's meant to be still an executive sedan, don't get me wrong, but a bit more on the sporty, smaller side. But yeah, let's move on to the exterior of the car. If the cameraman follows me around, you've got these lovely optional extra BMW adaptive LED headlights. Now this, in my opinion, is a must of these cars. It just transforms the front. These cars should not have come with halogen headlights up front. If we move on, this car actually has the M gloss black kidney grills. Car was bought like that, guys. We did not fit it, and it's also got these really nice 19-inch black wheels. I think they really set off the car. It really gives it that thugged out, murdering look, especially with the M Sport body kit. And in general, the side profile of the car, very mean and aggressive. Stance is quite nice as well, sits quite low. And if we move on to the rear end, again, you get these nice sharp body lines and follows along. You get these really nice LED tail lamps as standard with the LCI. And then we got, look, real exhausts. You won't find these on the C-Class and the A4. Real exhausts as twin pipes as well, regardless of if you choose 20 or 30D. Now this is the BMW 330D. So in terms of exterior styling, it's not actually too much different compared to the 320D. But the main important thing is the drivetrain. Now, we've covered the exterior, why don't we take a look in the interior? So guys, you join me in the interior of the F30. Now this is specced with a beautiful seashell interior. Now I'll be honest guys, like I said from the last video, black BMW interiors are the most boring interiors. Yeah, they're very simplistic, but once you actually spec it with a beautiful color, it really brightens up the interior and really accentuates the design language in here. I think it's beautiful. We've got iDrive 6 in here. Very good infotainment system. You got the iDrive controller here. You can control it by the steering wheel. And this car has the sort of the digital on the bottom, so that's a good display as well. In terms of storage, obviously You know, you got cupboard spaces here, you got glove box here, and you got these very large door bins in here. In terms of space, like I said before, the 3 Series isn't too much different to the 5 Series. It's literally just width. In terms of length, and I think especially in the cockpit, there definitely isn't too much different. In terms of driving position, I think it's one of the best driving positions ever. You can get really nice and low in the car. The bolsters are adjustable and they can really tighten up and hug you in. The steering wheel's plenty adjustable. It is manual, but at least, you know, there's plenty of adjustment in there. You've also got this optional extra USB cable in here. This car is equipped with CarPlay. And also with the reverse camera as well. So in general, a very, very practical interior. Obviously, just the only thing you've got to look out for is just obviously staining it. In terms of audio as well, we've got Harman Kardon speakers, so very important, especially for the rear, because for the rear they have actual speakers in the door card compared to a standard car which just has the subs in the back. Makes a huge difference with sound, and I think in general Harman Kardon is one of the best systems out there. Way better bass compared to Burmester, etc. But that's up front. Let me join you guys in the rear. So you guys join me in the rear of the 3 Series. Now it's very spacious. Like I said, it's width that matters, but in terms of length, look, I've got ample amounts of leg room, and you know, I'm 5'10", so the seat is in my driving position. Still got plenty of leg room. Headroom as well is decent. Obviously people that are 6 foot might struggle, but other than that, it's not too bad. I've got a very nice thing. The window goes down all the way as well. Again, we've got the important Harman Kardon speakers. Makes a massive difference. We've got some ambient lighting. Obviously it's a bit bright at the minute, but you can't see, but in the night it really does brighten things up. And then here again, we've got really nice armrest system where the cup holders, so you can hide them away if you want and use it as a conventional armrest, or you can fold it up. But yeah, you can seat 3 adults in the abreast with this car, but obviously the 5 Series would be better for that. But in terms of its rivals, they're all very similar as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior. The only gripe I'd say as well, again like the 5 Series, this one doesn't even have well, you can adjust climate, but this one doesn't have any USB-C slots or anything like that. So I guess that is probably an area where the car might show its age. But yeah, we've covered interior. Let's move on to the boot space. So guys, this is the boot of the 3 Series. No electric tailgate here, which is fine. I guess, like I said, the 3 Series, I don't mind it coming not a standard, but on the 5 Series definitely should be a standard option, especially when you consider the pricing of these cars. So the 3 Series starts from around mid 30 grand, but obviously for a 330D and a spec like this, you're looking at about 45 grand, which is still 10 grand cheaper than the 5 Series. And I don't think you're getting 10 grand less car. This boot is very spacious. You know, my sister can tell you, she fits all her luggage in here. Can even fit myself in here. And this car has the, which is an optional extra, folding seats here as well. So definitely a bonus for practicality. So we've covered practicality, we've covered the interior and the exterior. Let's take a look at what powers this 3 Series. So guys, what powers this beautiful saloon? That, very similar to the 5 Series, it's a 3-litre diesel straight 6 twin scroll turbo, but obviously it makes similar numbers, but this is the predecessor. So this is the N57 compared to the 5 Series, which had the B57. Now this makes around 260 brake horsepower and 560 newton-meters of torque, so fairly similar. You can get a 335D, which is a more powerful same engine, but obviously with an extra turbo, and that makes around 300 brake horsepower, but that is an X-Drive only model, whereas this is a rear-wheel drive car. Both use an 8-speed ZF, beautiful gearbox. So we've talked about every sort of basis about the car, apart from one vital thing: how does it drive? So let's go find out. So guys, what is the 330D like to drive? Well, right now we've got it in comfort and we've got the gearbox in automatic and we're just cruising along. The steering wheel is very light. Obviously that translates to little feedback, but I will tell you the steering is very responsive. You know, you know what the front, it does what the front wheels want to, what you tell the front wheels to do. In terms of the gearbox, shifting along very smoothly. ZF creamy gearbox. You never feel this, the shifts, nothing like that, even when you're ragging it. But yeah, at the minute, cruising along these beautiful country roads, and yeah, it's quite sedate. As well, you can tell there's not much road noise. We've got Michelin Pilot Sports right now. They're a very good tyre for grips. Oh look, a waitress van. But they're a very good tyre for grip, but also considering these are run flats, obviously the ride is choppier than what it's meant to be, but still rather sedate. But obviously, since we're in Ramble Common, you guys want to find out what it's like when you take it on a spirited drive. That's what the 3 Series is mainly about. The 5 Series is more about for lazing about, whereas the 3 Series is for the younger drivers. So flick it into sport. We've got traction all the way off. Just like, that's why I love BMW, because they let you just do things with your own. Flick it down the pedal. That N57 is brilliant. It just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling to its 5k rev limit. In terms of body control, the chassis is really good. Little to no understeer. You know, through these long winding bends, it just hooks on. Road surface is quite bad, and yet we're not crashing around too much. It's really, really impressive for what this car can do, especially because it's got the diesel lamp up front. You'd expect it to want to push on, but no, it just hooks like a train and it keeps pulling. Honestly guys, I love this car. And in the dry, you know, it's a very, very good car for traction. It's got loads of mechanical grip, but in the wet, you know, especially if you turn traction off, you can have a lot of fun. The gearbox is very responsive, you know, there's never a delay or anything like that. You grab whatever gear you want and it will choose it for you, and you can really feel it pushing you from the rear. That's what I love about rear wheel drive as compared to X-Drive. Don't get me wrong, X-Drive does give you that push, but after around second gear, you know, you sort of lose that. It sort of, the front wheels kick in and it kind of flattens out. This constantly pushes you from behind and you get a lovely pulling sensation. And the brakes are very good. I believe they are 4-part up front. Not too sure, but yes, this has got the upgraded M Sport brakes. Believe me, they pack a bite. The fade isn't too bad as well. Obviously this is a lighter car, so that's the difference. This car feels a lot lighter than the 5 Series, and for spirited drives like this, for B-road blasts, you just can't complain. It just pulls so violently. Honestly, what a car. This car does have launch control as well, which I don't know if I'll be able to demonstrate here. If I do, I'll throw in a clip. But yeah guys, honestly, drive a 3 Series, especially an F30 or G20. Drive one with a 3-litre straight 6, you'll fall in love guys, honestly. It's literally a Swiss Army knife. It literally is comfortable, it's lethal with performance, it handles well. What more could you want? Honestly guys, I'm very, very impressed by this car, and that's why it's one of my favourite cars that I've actually ever driven. But yeah, that sums up how the car drives. If we actually gloss over the economy, obviously you've got the different driving modes here. You can slap it into Eco Pro and chill out for a bit. On the car, again, 3-litre diesels around town, they're not the great. You get about, what, mid-20 miles per gallon, so you get 25, 27 miles per gallon at best. Where this car shines is motorway. You know, you can see excess of 50 miles per gallon. It's just amazing to think that this car packs this level of performance, and yet it can return such good economy. That's why, honestly, I'm not a biggest fan of diesels, don't get me wrong, but these 3-litre diesels, especially by BMW, they're an exception. They're an exceptional unit. But yeah, that sums up driving guys. Now it's just time for the conclusion. So guys, the main question of today's video was, does this car feel 6 years older than the 5 Series I had on the channel? To answer that question, definitely no. This car is a fantastic car. It's modern, It's nice and still elegant to drive, and it still has all the features that you need. It just goes to show that if you get spec right, you can have a very fantastic car. Now I've left the best thing till last, the price of this car specifically. This car was picked up with 70,000 miles on the clock for £16,000. Guys, that's literally less than a quarter of the price of that 5 Series that we had on the channel. And it's definitely not a quarter of the car. If anything, I would say it's almost on the same level. But that sums up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please let me know what more cars you'd like to see on the channel. Don't worry, we did actually have something, a performance car scheduled for this week, but unfortunately we had to cancel. But hey, this still has ample loads of performance. But yeah guys, I've been Karman Nab. Please take care guys. Peace.